Gemini, welcome to my channel. Keeping with the love energy theme, Gemini, just because we all need a little bit more love and connection in what's happening in the world today. Jupiter just went direct in your sign, Gemini, so maybe you are feeling, after a period of boredom or stagnation or a lull period, you might be feeling a sudden sense of expansiveness, or like you feel more expressive, you want to communicate more, you feel like reaching out more. The past couple of weeks, or at least since Jupiter has been retrograde, you have been wanting to hermit your energy a little bit, is what I'm feeling. But entering your sign, and Jupiter is massive, so it can hold 318 times Earth. It can hold Earth within its volume 318 times. Just take a moment to think about that. So the attraction, the field, the vibrational frequency of Jupiter, the magnetism and the gravitas of that planet, given also that it rules over Sagittarius, which is all about possibility, expansiveness, potential, the feeling of not being tied down, if you can relate to that, Gemini. So the feeling of being limitless, not limited. Sorry, I'm just putting my phone on silent. Not being tied down is the sense that you will get with Jupiter moving into your sign. You may also feel inspired to write or to study. Anything that has to do with the intellect or communication right now is a good time for you to expand into. It's a good time for expansion in those fields. Okay. So if you have a social media presence, a good time for that energy. So let's see, Gemini, what's going on for you in the field of love. This could be romantic, friendship, colleagues, anyone that you have a close relationship with, and share the energy of love and care with, Gemini. Let's see. A missed opportunity here. Maybe it's you, Gemini. Maybe you're the one ignoring this person. Someone is being very patient here about waiting for communication, or waiting for something to happen, waiting for someone to act. And the other person, and I'm speaking as if, this could be coming from your perspective, this could also be coming from your person's perspective, or whoever it is that is in this dynamic. But there's an energy of someone being closed off here and not wanting to take the opportunity, not wanting to put themselves out there emotionally. So hands folded, you can see that body language, crossing over the heart space, not willing to open up emotionally, not willing to expose themselves emotionally. And the other person is patiently waiting. The thing is if it's someone that's emotionally unavailable or avoidant in any way, if they are not going to do the work that it requires to open up their heart space, and that could range from, a little bit of work to a lifetime of work. but to acknowledge that there is growth needed, and that by protecting their heart space, they are actually missing out on huge opportunities for sharing of love, missing out on connections, missing out on potential, anything that has to do with the heart space. And remember, the heart is like our second brain, with 60,000 or over 60,000 neurons, a neural network. And so we think from the heart space as well. So anyone that is closing off that part of our alignment, because it's head, heart, and gut, that when we move with all three in alignment, we make the right decisions, we make the right choices, life flows easier, and we're able to manifest easier. This could very well be you, Gemini, because you tend to operate from the head space, from the thinking space, or from the gut. It doesn't have to be you. This could be someone you're dealing with. But the reality is, if that person is not willing to explore or understand or even try to open up the heart space, there's nothing you can do to force that. Like, you will be waiting a lifetime. This is something I've had to learn the hard way, like multiple times, thinking that I have the ability to convince someone to change their mind about a situation or about a connection or about a relationship, that something will change, that something will give. And the more that I give and the more patient that I am, this person will eventually see the benefit. It does not work like that. In fact, it ends up draining your energy, and it ends up sometimes frustrating the other person as well. But there's a lack of flow here. This could also be after an argument, Gemini. This could be a period of someone ignoring you or withdrawing from an argument, depending on how they deal with conflict. But their conflict style is to be withdrawn. So they prefer to go within when there is a disagreement or misunderstanding or conflict, and integrate it first for themselves before they are ready to have a conversation about it. And being, an animated communicator, Gemini, that can be frustrating for you, because you want communication, you want truth, you want the flow of the throat energy and the heart energy. Truth will come. There will be balance in the situation. I think there needs to be fairness. There needs to be patience before anything is going to happen with the situation. Card of Libra. So this is about justice and fairness. This could also be someone that is in your space that feels that you have treated them unfairly or unjustly, or that there isn't balance in the relationship. This could also be from your point of view, that you're not finding a balance. Balance will be restored here, but it is time dependent. So it is going to take some time, and to allow the space for that to happen is very important. And there will be communication. So fast moving communication after a period of stillness. Your person or you are also receiving guidance, intuitive guidance and downloads from your spirit team. So there's a sense of intuition that you have about this. There's a sense of knowing that you have about the situation that has been coming to you for a while now. And it feels like for your person as well. So you will be guided, and you will know what to do to move forward in the situation, if it is a period of angst or of disagreement. trust your intuition. You know, this is a good season for intuition because it is Pisces season. And Pisces is the intuitive sign of the zodiac, the empath and the intuit, the seer, the high priestess. So lean into that a little as well, Gemini. Into your heart space and into your gut space, and feel what that feels like instead of intellectualizing it and drawing conclusions too quickly about the situation. There's a decision that needs to be made here. I think you are restless. There's a feeling of being bored. There's a feeling of not wanting to repeat the same cycle, wanting to explore different horizons. There could be travel here as well. But again, a lot of spiritual energy here. So you are being guided to make a decision here or take a stance on something, Gemini. This could also be about you having to move for a career and leaving someone behind. This could be about you wanting to explore or possibly, relocate, and someone isn't happy about that. But there is travel on the horizon, and you can feel that something is about to shift, or that your ships are coming in, and that there's an opportunity that if you don't take now will be missed. And it is an expansive opportunity. So if you find yourself in a situation that you are bored of, or you feel that there's more for you out there, and you have been having this restless feeling and the sense of urgency that something needs to change, trust that feeling, Gemini. Something is about to change, I feel. And this could be a new opportunity. You could be receiving news from someone. You could be visited by someone. The important thing to do is also to move cautiously, practically, and slowly with this decision, and not make it impulsively with emotion, or with your gut only. So think about what it is that you want, how you want to move forward, and this is going to create a sense of safety for you as well. If you approach it from an intellectual perspective, an emotional perspective, and a instinct perspective. When those three things align, that is usually when we feel centered and grounded. When we don't go through the process of checking the pros and cons, the advantages, the disadvantages, that is what creates this instability or feeling of being unsafe. And the stag that is there, you'll know that a deer or stag does not hang around somewhere where it is unsafe. And the Knight of Pentacles is the safest. I mean, he takes precautions before he acts. He doesn't move quickly without thinking about where he's going, without considering what the goal is. It is Virgo energy, so very practical, very pragmatic, and very grounded energy. And that is the energy you are being guided to embody as you go from day to day, make a decision about a change or make a decision about a relationship. There's more method required here than madness. You might also be feeling that with this situation, Gemini, that your usual charm and magnetism and gift of the gab and wit is not working, or it's not cutting it like it used to. And that's also an indication that there needs to be a balance and a consideration from different perspectives and from different aspects of yourself to remedy the situation or to make a decision about this going forward. Anything else for Gemini? I don't know if I said this in the beginning of the reading, but I guess if you are still here, it has resonated so far. But if the messages don't fit or don't resonate or don't make sense, please don't force them to fit. Feeling trapped. Wanting a new opportunity. I think your heart desires something different, Gemini. Your heart is definitely desiring something different, and it feels like your intuition is screaming at you that this is a possibility, but you are stuck in your mind about it. So it's important to open your heart space. If you have been overthinking the situation, it's important to also tap into the heart brain and the gut brain and listen to what needs to be said there. And you do that through stillness, through meditation. The mind can sometimes work overtime, especially with you, Gemini, and it can cause us to self-sabotage because you can make up a million different stories in your mind about what is going on without tapping into your intuition and get it horribly wrong. There's also an apology here that's coming for those of you that resonates with. But there's definitely a feeling of being restless, being trapped, feeling limited. And maybe it has been this past energy of Jupiter in retrograde. And now that it has gone direct today, the 11th of March, you are definitely going to feel a shift in your energy, Gemini. But tap into the heart space. Overthinking can drain a lot of your energy as well. If you find yourself anxious or overthinking, what really helps me is to chew on ice, or to put an ice block in my mouth, or to put it onto the vagus nerve, which is just, at the back of the neck, or even the pineal gland, which is at the base of the skull. It gives your mind something else to focus on, because suddenly there's something cold that needs to be dealt with, and it kind of resets the nervous system. I think all the resources or your physiological response is to react to this ice cold thing in your mouth. And so it tricks the brain into just calming down for a bit. For some of you, that might help. I don't know why they asked me to share that, but if there is any form of anxiety, because I know how this feels, the spiral into your mind, it can be very damaging, and you sometimes can't imagine how to find a way out of it, especially if it's a stressful situation. But your heart space here is very important. There is an idea that you are holding in your heart as well, Gemini, that you think might be impossible. But now would be a good time to explore that idea. especially with Jupiter in your energy. Mental clarity is coming. So there will be mental clarity in the situation. There will be communication, clear communication if you are missing that. So it's just about patience, Gemini. Remember, we can't, there's no way you can force someone else to be ready to have a conversation. Even if we are ready to resolve something or to have a conversation about something, the other person might not be. So it takes both parties to to resolve something. Okay, Gemini. I hope that resonated. I want to draw you an oracle message. To close off this reading, I am also doing personal readings. So if you'd like a deep dive into a situation, please reach out. My details are in the description box below. I'm also going to be posting a grounding meditation today on my podcast, which is also part of the channel. So if you are feeling, extra restless and needing to tap into the heart space energy for guidance, try out that meditation. Okay. Magic Guardian. Wow. Aries got this as well. This is the Magician, and that is your energy, Gemini. It is about manifesting. And in order to manifest, we need to have all our key centers in alignment, our instinct, our emotions, and our intellect. Heart, gut, brain. If those three aren't in alignment, there is a miscommunication or misfiring. You can imagine or visualize something that you want with your mind, but if your heart is not aligned with that and your instinct isn't, then the message isn't clear for the universe. So mind, heart, and gut have to be aligned. It has to feel right. It has to be something you can take action on and feel passionate enough about to take action on. And also it needs to make sense for you intellectually. Magic Guardian is always present. That energy is present with shamans, with seers, with people that are meditating and wanting to receive or gain insight about a specific topic. It's important to connect to source and to connect to your guides and to recognize that the magic and the answers that you want are already within you. And it is just about unlocking that field, unlocking your intuition. Everyone is actually clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient. It's about tapping into that field, though, and we can be so bogged down by the day-to-day, by being productive, and by everything that is going on in the world that we can tap out of that energy, or we are closed off to that energy, which is why the meditation time is so important to find your magic again. Okay, Gemini, I hope that resonated for some of you. If it did, drop me a like, a comment, a share, and sending you so much love. And if you would like a personal reading, my details are in the description box below. Until next time, Gemini, sending love.